It is a pressured situation. There's no question of a doubt about that. I mean, obviously the Springboks are going to go to France this year as world champions. There's a huge sense of pressure on that. In 2011, we had that same pressure. We went there as current world champions after 2007. Again, also had beaten the British and Irish Lions. Also had won a Tri-Nations, in this case a rugby championship, a couple of years before that. So a highly accomplished group of players, and it's really important to maintain your feet on the ground and keep the same ethos that you had in 2019 and make sure that you're continuing to work towards those same goals. I do have a sense though that the coaching staff at the Springboks at the moment realise that. In fact, Rassie and Jacques were involved with us in 2011, and I know for a fact that they've used 2011 as a learning curve in many occasions. So let's just hope and get behind the Springboks and just hope that they can go and replicate a back-to-back win again.
You've been in teams where you had your Victor Madfields with 42 players. John Smith. The Springboks setup is similar. There's a group of leaders, experienced group of leaders who have been through the most, whether good or bad. What do you see from this group of leadership who have now been had, like the injuries to Luert, Andre and Lukany? What's the big ones? Now those leaders need to lead this team out of that mini crisis.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. But thank goodness we've got those leaders who've got 60, 70, 80, 100 test caps. To have a Dwayne and to have a Sia and to have a Bongi who's now a senior player as well, and the list just goes on at the moment now. Is critically important when things become tough. And the interesting thing about high performance is that when the situation becomes tough, it's repeated, and you get yourself back into the same situation that you may have been in a few years before that. If you're an astute leader and you've been there before, you actually know what to tap into. You know what the right things are. You know what the next task looks like, and you can almost block out the emotion and don't let the situation or the incidents that maybe worked against you get to you. Just get back onto task and get back onto the job. And that's why the senior leaders in this Springbok group are going to be absolutely critical and essential to the success of the group. And I just think it's amazing that they've got a group of leaders that they do have at the moment now. I just think it bodes really well for them.
Well, look, I think every World Cup that's been won has had an incredible captain-coach relationship. You look at Clive Woodward and Martin Johnson, you look at Kitch and Francois, obviously John Smith, myself, Richie McCaw. The reality is you need I read an article this week as well. You need a captain you can trust when the big moments come. And I'm sure the coaching staff of South Africa believe in Sia. You look at a guy like Lukanya, was a vice captain's not going. So a guy like Dwayne Freeman's captained the team already. Evans captained the team already. So I think there's enough leadership in that group anyway. That's why I think over the years they've blooded a few new captains. And whether Sia plays every game or whether he's available for the third and fourth game, not the first and second. I think the reality is you've got to have your best team on the field after 7 weeks or in the seventh game. So, yeah, look, I'm sure, as I said, leadership, you're quite right, plays an incredible, important role. And I'm sure the guys who picked that team would have covered all those bases.